Hello students, in this lecture I am talking about damped vibration. So before coming to damped vibration, you should understand what is free vibration. As I have already talked about simple harmonic motion in the previous lectures, so if these vibrations are happening in the absence of any dissipative force, then the vibration is called free vibration. So in the free vibration, the amplitude of the oscillation will not decrease and it will remain same with the time. While in the damped vibration, there is a dissipative force works on it, and so the amplitude of the vibration decreases with the time. Now coming to the equation of motion for damped harmonic oscillator. So as we have already done this for simple harmonic motion, so consider a particle of mass m and it is oscillating under a resistive force, then at any time t, if the displacement is x, then the velocity and acceleration will be, of course, dx by dt and d2x by dt square. So now, because we already know that there is a restoring force work on the particle under simple harmonic motion, so here this restoring force is given as F is equal to minus mu x, where mu is force constant. Now since there is a resistive force working and this resistive force is opposite to the velocity of the particle, so this can be given as F is equal to minus R dx by dt, where R is damping constant. So now there are two forces working on the particle, so the sum of the two forces will be given as here. Now from the Newton's law we already know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. So we can write the equation like this, and if we solve, then finally we will get this equation. So here the 2k is equal to r by 2m and omega square is equal to mu by m. So in a general way, we can say that the 2k is resistive force per unit mass and the omega square is a restoring force per unit mass. Omega square you have already seen in the previous lectures. So this equation here represents the damped simple harmonic motion of particle. Now this is a linear differential equation of second order, and so its solution can be written in form of exponential term. X is equal to a e to the power alpha t, where a and alpha are the arbitrary constants. Because we have to solve this equation, so if we put x equal to a to the power alpha t in the differential equation, then we will get the two values of alpha, which is alpha 1 and alpha 2. Now because we have two values of alpha, so we will have two roots of the differential equation, and so the solution of the differential equation can be written in this form, and then putting the value of alpha we will get this final equation. Now after getting this solution, there are three possible cases. So case 1 is when the k is greater than omega. So in case when k is greater than omega, then you can see here in the equation, the k square minus omega square in the under root will be a positive real number and which will be less than k. So the two terms minus k plus under root k square minus omega square and another term both will be negative. Hence, the displacement x, which is here, will decrease exponentially to 0 with time, which is shown here in the graph as number 1 curve. It means that the oscillation will be dead soon and there will be 0 displacement. And so this motion is called overdamped or dead beat motion. The example of such motion can be found when we put a pendulum in a dense liquid. Then what will happen if we produce a displacement and then leave it, then the amplitude of the oscillation will die soon, and thus it will produce a deadbeat motion. Now, in the case 2, when k is equal to omega, in this case, the term under root k square minus omega square will be 0. But now, there will be two roots, and both the roots are equal to e to the power minus kt. So what will happen? In that case, the differential equation will have a different solution because two roots are equal. So the solution will be of the form e to the power minus kt c plus dt, where c and d are arbitrary constants. Now you see in this equation there are two terms containing time t. One is e to the power minus kt and one is c plus dt. So when time will increase, then the c plus dt term will increase, but at the same time the term e to the power minus kt will decrease. As c plus dt is a linear term, so at start the total displacement increases with time and then decreases to 0 at a faster rate than the overdamped condition for the same mu and m value. The example of such motion can be found in ammeter and voltmeter, where they shows the reading instantaneously and then come back to 0. In the third case, when the k is less than omega, in this case, this term under k square minus omega square will be imaginary because k is less than omega. So we can write this term in this way. So we will have I beta. Now putting this in the solution, then we will have this, and then after solving we will have this. Now putting a plus b is equal to a sin phi and I a minus b is equal to a cos phi, then we will have a final equation in this form. Here a square is equal to 4ab and tan phi is equal to a plus b upon I a minus b. Now as we get this solution, so if we compare this with the simple harmonic motion equation, then what we see that the amplitude is a e to the power minus kt, and putting the value of k we will have a e to the power minus rt by 2m. So it means that the amplitude will decrease exponentially with the time, and the frequency of this simple harmonic motion will be under root omega square minus k square, and the time period will be given as here. So in this case, what will happen? The amplitude of the harmonic motion will decrease with time and decay exponentially. Now if we put the damping constant equal to 0, then what will happen? The amplitude will become A, and the frequency and the time period will be the same as we have done it for the simple harmonic motion. So this is the case of free vibration, where there is no frictional force, there is no damping force, and the amplitude will be constant with the time. So these are the problems for you to solve related to this lecture. Now coming to the solution of the problems given in lecture 2. So for the first question, the correct answer is A, where the periodic time of particle moving with simple harmonic motion is the time taken by a particle for one complete oscillation. Second question, you need to use two equations. One is I is equal to mk square plus ml square, and the time period t is equal to 2 pi under root k square L plus L by G. So when you will use both the equation, you can get the value of time period. Again, for the third question, if you use the same two equations, then you will find the answer at what will happen if the mass of the object get double, and then there what will be the effect on the time period of the compound pendulum. I think this is a very easy question, so I'm not giving you the answers. You can solve it by yourself.